Do you feel anxious when your phone rings? You're not alone. This response is often referred to as phone anxiety or telephobia. It's a type of social anxiety disorder, becoming more pervasive in our tech-dominated society. It manifests as fear or hesitation in making or receiving phone calls. Many times, this anxiety arises from the fear of the unexpected or the unknown. Let's delve into some factors that contribute to phone anxiety. Firstly, the absence of nonverbal cues plays a major role. When you're on the phone, you can't see the person you're speaking with. You can't gauge their reactions or read their body language, which makes the conversation feel unpredictable. This lack of visual feedback creates discomfort and induces anxiety. Secondly, the dread of awkward silences also fuels phone anxiety. During phone conversations, silence is way more noticeable than in face-to-face chats. The fear of not knowing what to say next or sounding foolish can spike stress levels, adding to the anxiety. Thirdly, the pressure to respond instantly contributes to phone anxiety. Phone calls demand immediate responses, in contrast to texts or emails where you can take your time to articulate your responses. For those who prefer deliberating before responding, this can be quite unnerving. Lastly, past negative experiences amplify phone anxiety. If you've had an unpleasant phone conversation in the past, it may induce anxiety about future calls. The memory of that negative experience lingers, creating apprehension about upcoming phone conversations. In summary, phone anxiety is a complex issue, influenced by an array of factors ranging from lack of visual cues, fear of awkward silences, pressure to respond immediately, to previous negative experiences. If you've had a bad phone call in the past, it might trigger anxiety about future phone conversations. So, how does phone anxiety affect someone? This is a question that might seem trivial for some, but is a pressing concern for others. Phone anxiety, a form of social anxiety, has a profound impact on the life of the person who experiences it. It can manifest in various ways and can disrupt both daily activities and long-term goals. To expand, when someone is dealing with phone anxiety, they might find themselves procrastinating. They might let the phone ring, unwilling to answer it, only to find relief once it stops. They might keep pushing off making that important call, telling themselves they'll do it later, only to realize that it's been days and they're still avoiding it. The thought of having to interact over the phone can indeed become a daunting task, leading to undue stress and pressure. Avoidance behaviors tend to be common in these scenarios. It's not just about not picking up calls or not making them. It reaches the point where even the sight of the phone can trigger anxiety. They might try to stay away from situations where they might have to use the phone, which can severely limit their social interactions. The repercussions of phone anxiety can extend beyond the psychological, impacting personal and professional relationships. It can create misunderstandings, missed opportunities, and even conflicts. People may perceive them as unreliable, aloof, or unsociable, leading to strained relationships. Professionally, it might affect their performance as they may dread work calls, meetings over the phone, or even conference calls. This state of anxiety can also manifest physical symptoms. They might experience headaches, recurring stomach aches, or issues like insomnia. These physical health issues can further exacerbate the anxiety, creating a vicious cycle that's hard to break. So it's clear that phone anxiety doesn't merely revolve around a fear of phone calls. It is a complex condition that can cause physical symptoms such as headaches, stomach aches, and sleep problems. Now let's talk solutions. Overcoming phone anxiety may take time, but it's entirely possible. It's not an overnight process, but with patience and persistence, you can definitely make it. One of the most effective ways to do this is through exposure. It might sound intimidating at first, but exposure therapy is simply the practice of gradually and repetitively exposing yourself to the situation that induces fear or anxiety in you. The aim is to desensitize you to the anxiety-provoking situations gradually, rendering them harmless over time. Imagine starting with something small, like a short casual call to a close friend or a family member, something that doesn't take too much out of your comfort zone. As you grow comfortable with this, you may want to slowly increase the difficulty level. Perhaps you could try calling a less familiar acquaintance or a professional contact. The key here is to take small, manageable steps and gradually work your way up to more challenging, anxiety-provoking situations. Highly effective method you could consider is cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. This method involves identifying and understanding your negative thought patterns and challenging them. For instance, if you're scared of awkward silences during a call, remind yourself that it's perfectly normal to have pauses in a conversation. Everyone does. It's a natural part of human communication. In addition to these therapeutic techniques, mindfulness and relaxation techniques can also provide significant assistance. Techniques such as deep breathing exercises, progressive muscle relaxation, and mindfulness exercises help you stay focused and calm during a call. These techniques not only help in reducing symptoms of anxiety, but also promote a sense of well-being and control over your body and mind. Remember, overcoming phone anxiety is not a race, it's a journey. With the right techniques and mindset, it's entirely achievable. Deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, and mindfulness exercises can help reduce symptoms of anxiety. Phone anxiety is real and can be debilitating. This is a truth that many of us have come to acknowledge. In today's high-speed digital world, the humble telephone, an invention that was once seen as a tool of liberation, has ironically become an object of fear. A device that was once used to bridge distances and bring people closer together now has the potential to cause distress and unease. The psychological impact of phone anxiety is often underestimated. It can cause a range of reactions, from mild discomfort to full-blown panic attacks. The prospect of making or receiving calls can send your heart racing, your palms sweating, your mind spinning with a whirlwind of fears and doubts. It's like being on a roller coaster ride, except that there's no thrill, only fear. And unfortunately, it's a ride that you can't simply step off. But it's crucial to remember that phone anxiety, like any form of anxiety, is not a sign of weakness. Quite the contrary, it's a testament to your sensitivity, to your keen awareness of the world around you. So don't be too harsh on yourself. It's okay to feel anxious. It's okay to ask for help. And more importantly, it's okay to take small, manageable steps towards overcoming your fears. Just like climbing a mountain or learning a new skill, the journey to overcome phone anxiety takes time, patience, and perseverance. After all, great journey begins with a single step. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither your confidence be. To tackle phone anxiety, you can use various strategies. Mindfulness techniques, relaxation exercises, cognitive behavioral therapies, and exposure therapies have all shown potential in helping people manage their phone anxiety. You don't have to go through it alone. Reach out to a professional, talk to a trusted friend, or join a support group. And there you have it. Phone anxiety, a modern-day predicament that many grapple with. It's not insurmountable, and with the right tools, anyone can conquer it. Let's take a moment to share some relatable experiences. First, let's talk about Chris. Chris had an important job interview scheduled over the phone, but as the time neared, his phone anxiety took over. His heart pounded, his hands shook, and he missed the call. Next, meet Lisa. Lisa was on a call with a long-lost friend. Suddenly, a wave of panic washed over her. She felt her throat closing up, her heart racing, and before she knew it, she was in the throes of a panic attack. Finally, let's hear about Sam. Sam used to dread phone calls, but he decided to face his fears. He started small, with brief calls to friends and family, then gradually moved on to longer, more official calls. With time, his phone anxiety lessened. Today, Sam is a successful salesperson, making dozens of calls every day. These stories show that you're not alone in your struggles with phone anxiety. It's okay to miss a call, to feel panic, and it's perfectly okay to ask for help. Remember, your journey to overcoming phone anxiety starts with a single small step.